Anchored Tiny Homes.
Chula Vista company Multitaskr.
Connect Homes, an Arizona-based company.
$100 grand.
$18 million.
$460,000.
I really wish I didn't have to make this video. But after hearing so many stories, families who spent their life savings on a dream, only to end up with nothing, I knew I couldn't stay quiet anymore. We're talking about over $100 million lost in the last 5 years to tiny home scammers. That's not just numbers, it's people's entire futures taken away.
No, you don't need to make faces.
On the couch with his family, Steve Sanza is just dad, but the medals and plaques on the wall behind them are a reminder. He's also major dad.
From our retirement savings, all of it, essentially. Wow. Drained it.
Steve showed me what they have in their backyard. Zero construction.
Where it's supposed to be.
For their state grant, home loan, and retirement fund.
$315,700.
Margot hired Anchored Tiny Homes to build the ADU and gave them $28,000 to start, but it's all gone.
Well, it's my retirement. The ADU was supposed to solve that.
So far I've put down $15,478.
17-year-old Kylie Basor was hoping to live on her own when she graduated from high school.
Well, this is all the money that I have saved up, and I wanted to be living on my own at 18, just to say that I did it and to be proud of myself.
Tiny homes were supposed to be an affordable answer, but for so many, they've become nothing more than abandoned lots, broken contracts, and drained bank accounts. I've heard their voices crack on the telephone, I've seen the tears in person, and it tears me up to think about the devastation that this has caused. I've seen case after case of folks who believed that tiny living would ease their financial burdens. Instead, many ended up exhausted, broke, and unsure of where to turn. From hidden fees to shoddy construction, the weight of these scams has been crushing, and it's time we shine a spotlight on it. Before we dive into specific companies, let me know in the comments below if you or someone you know has already been targeted by a tiny home scam. Sharing your story could help warn others. Now, some of these names might ring a bell, especially since a few were once TrailerMade customers themselves. And while I'm focusing on 5 companies here, the truth is there are dozens more out there that aren't playing by the rules. Their only goal? Grab your money and leave you with empty promises. Let's start with the name that generated quite a buzz not too long ago. A company called Anchored Tiny Homes, founded in 2019 by the Paulus family. They're located in Fair Oaks, California, and their alleged total taken is over $5.5 million from at least 60 different customers. They launched with a mission to solve the housing crisis by offering custom ADUs and tiny homes. By 2022, they boasted nearly $50 million in gross sales.
I believe in working hard. I believe in putting in more hours than people. All of that stuff is true. But on the flip side, the reason we all became entrepreneurs was to create financial freedom for our life, for our families, and for generations of our families. So I think if we forget that, right, we can lose the whole purpose behind why we became entrepreneurs in the first place.
But by mid-2024, things started going off the rails. Customers reported abandoned projects and a lot of unreturned phone calls.
Anchored Tiny Homes is now under state investigation and has gone out of business. In an intimate conversation, 5 homeowners say they're out hundreds of thousands of dollars because of Anchored Tiny Homes.
They were touted as, the country's premier ADU builder.
How many of you have unfinished projects? How many of you paid Anchored Tiny Homes more than $10,000 to complete your project? $50,000, $100,000, $200,000.
In July, Anchored Tiny Homes CEO Colton Paulus told ABC 10 he was sorry to everyone he disappointed and that the company grew too fast, making it difficult for him to finish projects, pay contractors, and employees.
It is our intention to finish every single job. It is not our intention to stop projects. We're not abandoning people and leaving them high and dry.
Weeks later, he told his employees he couldn't make payroll.
There's even a Facebook group now called Scammed by Anchored Tiny Homes that has dozens and dozens of members. Investigations are ongoing, but families are still left with nothing to show for their money. Next is Multitaskr, founded in 2020. Their location is in Chula Vista, California, and their alleged total taken is over $15 million from more than 100 customers. They marketed themselves as a one-stop solution for ADUs, pulling in retirees, veterans, and plenty of others.
It's hard to walk the talk when facing adversity, especially when you're building something. Most people are gonna think you're lying. There's been situations where even I doubt myself and I go, wait, am I lying to myself, right? Because it's not built yet and you're trying to build something, you have to sell the vision to people. And a lot of people are gonna think that you're crazy or that you're lying or that you're, what do you call it, the snake oil salesman, right? And so it's hard to get through it. But I think as long as you know that you're being honest, that you are truly, ethical about your approach, about what you're saying, and you mean well behind what you're saying, eventually it'll work out if you're persistent.
And then in late 2024, they just shut down. Their contractor's license got suspended, and now they're under the microscope for fraud and conspiracy at both state and federal levels. Over 100 customers claim to have lost over $15 million, and some of them are facing six-figure hits.
They gave the company nearly $80,000 up front. That home, still a dream.
How does it make you feel? Primarily embarrassed.
As you can see, there's still green grass where the tiny homes should be.
Believe it or not, had us pick out our flooring, our cabinets, our hardware, our shower, all the finishes, as if it was imminently about to happen when nobody was working on the project.
While Multitaskr left people scrambling, another company offered a factory-built dream that ended just as badly. And I'm talking about Connect Homes California. Strangely, based in Arizona, known for factory-built modular homes and modern designs, their alleged total taken estimates suggest over $8 million in unfulfilled customer deposits, with one family alone losing nearly $500,000 by themselves.
By that time, Davis says he had already paid the company $460,000, believing his house was in the factory line being built. However, the couple says the company gave them the runaround for months.
They promised a streamlined approach with factory-built units, but by 2025, Connect Homes California filed for liquidation after running headlong into financial issues.
Mid-August, we got just a boilerplate, dear client, not even using our names. As you may have heard, which we hadn't, the company's going through liquidity issues. We've had to slow production. And then a few weeks later, they said they had started back up and there were no delays. But at that point, we were already delayed.
According to the San Francisco Chronicle, Connect Homes has filed for liquidation, and the Davis family may never recover their money.
One family we mentioned earlier, the Davises, sank nearly $460,000 into a dream that never materialized. Insiders estimate the company raked in over $8 million in deposits, with nothing left to deliver.
Pretty trusting and pretty optimistic, and everything seemed good. Everything presented well about this company and their product and what we were doing. I think probably the biggest thing is, we would have said, we're not going to give you this money until we actually see the house.
Factory-built ideas aside, let's look at one company that took a very different approach and still caused heartbreak. Holy Ground Tiny Homes Company, with their angle being kind of a faith-based minimalist living approach. Veterans and prior offenders were able to seek employment there and salvation. And allegedly, that company has taken over $8.5 million from over 70 families. The allegations of cost overruns, delayed communication, incomplete or code-violating builds have led to their filing bankruptcy here in the state of Colorado.
Super stressful. I mean, I feel like I have, no other choice but to just trust that he's going to come through, because I don't even want to think about losing that money.
The day before our interview, Samara went to this warehouse in Inglewood, where the tiny homes are built. She asked for her house or a refund. What she got was a promise on paper, her tiny home by October 14th or her money back. By October 14th, she got neither the house or a refund. Instead, she received a bankruptcy notice filed October 7th by Matthew Sowash with a stay order, telling her and so many others, any contact with this business in regards to your home is a violation of this order. All customer home orders have been halted.
They built their brand on spirituality and trust, appealing to those who wanted a faith-driven option for downsizing. But complaints started rolling in late 2023. Some 70 families lost a combined $8.5 million, according to reports here locally. Investigations into alleged unfair business practices are still ongoing, and customers say they feel blindsided by a company that used faith to foster credibility.
And Scott and Alex Mays are the only people we met who actually received their tiny home.
And by the time we got the home, like there was, there's a hole in the floor behind the refrigerator that we found. Scratches, the house isn't level, so drawers kind of pop out whenever we level it.
The house is uninhabitable as far as they're concerned.
Bringing that to their attention, we were gaslit and said we didn't know what we were talking about, so we brought in a third-party contractor and he said, hey, this is unlevel. You guys need to get this corrected. Yeah, so this is it. If I take the tape off this, it just automatically opens on its own, and it's because they built this wall leaning again because they built it on unlevel ground.
Now let's talk about a builder that promoted high-end luxury but left customers with a very different reality. Brooks Tiny Homes, known for luxury finishes, custom designs, and allegedly they've taken over $3 million in unfinished project deposits after bankruptcy. They posted gorgeous high-end tiny homes on social media. The reality was different. Unlicensed contractors, poor craftsmanship, radio silence when customers tried to reach them. And by early 2025, Brooks Tiny Homes declared bankruptcy, leaving behind more than $3 million in debts and half-built units. Some called it a Ponzi-like cycle, and new deposits used to patch over old debts until it all fell apart. Seeing these stories is tough, but let's shift gears to how you can spot a potential scam before it wrecks your finances. Not every tiny home builder is out to scam you. Contact the tiny house experts for a list of companies that legitimately deliver. We're happy to give a reference. But if you're currently searching for a builder, you do need to watch out for these major warning signs. Number one is unbelievably low prices. If they're dramatically undercutting other quotes, question how they can pull it off. Number two, high-pressure sales tactics. Sign now or lose out is classic manipulation. Reputable builders respect your need to decide carefully. Vague or missing contract details is the third one to watch out for. If they won't give clear timelines, costs, or refund policies, you may want to think twice. Number four is large upfront payments. Legitimate builders prefer a deposit with milestone-based payments. Don't hand everything over at once. That's a sure sign for bad things to come. Number five is inconsistent contact information. If phone numbers and addresses change constantly, it's probably time to walk away. Number six is fake or duplicate websites. Some scammers copy legitimate builder sites or create professional-looking pages filled with stolen images. Always verify the real URL and cross-check references of that builder. Number seven's a big one. Suspicious Craigslist or Facebook ads. Scammers will sometimes lift photos from reputable builders or even use actual company names to trick you. If an ad feels too good to be true, it likely is. Now, if you know of other warning signs or have your own experience to share, please drop a comment below. Your insight could stop someone else from getting scammed. If you or someone close to you has already fallen into one of these traps, it can feel overwhelming. But there are actions you can take to fight back. The first thing is to report it. Reach out to your state's Attorney General, the Better Business Bureau, and local consumer protection agencies. Every report adds more pressure on the scammers. Next, seek legal help. A lawyer might help you to recoup some of those funds or at least hold these companies accountable. Number three, speak out. Post about your experience on social media, news outlets, and forums. Your story could prevent someone else from becoming a victim. Remember, sharing what happened can be a powerful way to protect others. please don't hesitate to let us know in the comments if you're comfortable doing so. It's devastating to see so many people lose so much. Over $100 million in just 5 years. Tiny homes can still be an incredible choice if you partner with a reputable builder and stay vigilant. If you found this video helpful, or if you know someone considering a tiny home, please hit like, subscribe, and spread the word. The more people that know about these scams, the fewer victims there'll be. Thank you for watching, and as always, do your research, trust your gut, and don't let anyone destroy your dream. I'm Damon with the Tiny House Experts. Thank you for watching.